that convicted an innocent man. I was always taught to fight for the people who need the help the most.
You ain't quitting, is you?
No, sir.
We all with you.
So you guys have been good friends for years, but this is the first time you've actually done a film together.
Yeah.
How early in the process did you know you were going to be working together, and how did that sort of help form the bedrock for what you would put on the screen?
I feel like, I'm not sure exactly in the process. I've been dealing with this one, developing it for like 4 or 5 years. So I think the casting process is usually one of the last things to kind of come together. Once we refine the script, we get it to a good place, schedules align up, we start thinking about cast. But in my mind, I've always kind of had Jamie at the forefront. You know, I couldn't think of anybody else to play that role. I was just hoping that he was available and that he was going to do it. But I've known him for such a really long time. So honestly, sometimes in the industry, like, yeah, we hope to work together one day. Sometimes it's just lip service and you keep going and it never happens. But the fact that it was things were able to line up on this one, a really special film with somebody I really care about, it's really special. And then when we actually got to doing the work, showing up on set every day, our friendship, I think, allowed us to take risks and to go further with things because we knew the friendship was there. So sometimes with your friends, you can say wild and reckless things to one another because that's your best friend, that's your boy. It's not going to be taken the wrong way. The same kind of thing works when it comes to I think, performances. There's no boundaries, there's no line to cross. You can just do whatever you need to do because you're doing what's best for the scene.
What was it about this team that ultimately convinced you this was the project to do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was absolutely hesitant, but meeting Destin, who'd made Short Term 12, and he was so committed to doing this in the right way. I was very encouraged by that. And then when Michael came in, not only is he an extraordinarily talented actor, he's also deeply committed to these issues. And we were totally aligned on trying to do this the right way. And they were straight up in saying, look, we're going to make the truthful choice, not the easy choice. We're going to do this the way that honors the message of the book, even if that's uncomfortable. And that gave me the confidence to believe that this could happen. And when the film was finished, I was so moved and so excited, and now I'm really energized to share it with the world.
But what you're doing is going to make a lot of people upset.
You always taught me to fight for the people who need the help the most.
What was the most invaluable resource for nailing these portrayals, and what was most important in decompressing from them?
The book Just Mercy, written by Bryan Stevenson, was full of a lot of different characters that you couldn't see in the actual movie. So the book was just so informative because it was like you was walking with Bryan as he was doing these things, as he was being this hero. The book really took you step by step, and it was just so informative and definitely helped me with my character. Yes, the book, and then 2 pictures. I had 2 pictures to stare at because they didn't have any live video footage or anything of him, so I would just stare at the pictures and just stare and try to pick up his spirit and mindset and put it all into my own personal experiences and imagination.
How do you think Walter would have reacted to the book and the film?
Yeah, well, I know he would be so honored by the film. Jamie's performance is really striking. He also shares an uncanny resemblance to Walter McMillan. And, I think for a lot of people who go through these things, you feel like there's never any acknowledgement of what you went through, that you have to kind of suffer in silence, that what you kind of had to deal with nobody cares about. And to now see it presented in this way, it's very affirming. I shared it with the family, and to a person, what they wanted to say is how gratifying it is to see what they went through acknowledged in this way. So I think he'd be super proud, super happy that his story might contribute to something that could cause us to be more committed to justice.
I can't believe you talked to all my people and say you're gonna fight for me.
We all need grace. We all need mercy.
Amen.